postseason passes. Will it turn into something big for Chicago? Knox! Downfield, the rookie Shields makes the play. And Sam Shields returns the favor. This kid, who was a college free agent, Sam Shields, played corner only 1 year, has been terrific. So you thought it would be overturned. I thought it would be overturned. That ball moved when it hit the ground. But they are going to keep the call on the field, and Jay Cutler is making his way off the field. Field and Chris Myers.
Joe, moments ago, Jay Cutler, one of the last guys out of the locker room for the Bears, limping. He had a bloody elbow when he went in before the half, but Lovie Smith told me his knee is banged up. Todd Collins' backup was warming up, but they're going to go with Jay Cutler. And the message Lovie Smith gave to his Bears team: we're lucky, we're fortunate to be only down 14 the way we played in the second half. Don't panic, we can rally. Back to you.
Well, they get to start from their own 40. Matthews makes the play as the ball is handed to Forte for 5 yards.
Defensively, think back to the last time these two teams met. Dom Capers brought a lot of blitzes. He did not do that in the first half all that often, and I know March was wanting to encourage the blitz, but he hasn't gotten a lot of it.
Here is Forte again. He's been busy, picks up a yard. Let's go down to Cam Oliver. He's watching his defense on 3rd and 4. Deep drop by Cutler, and the ball looked like it bounced in. They're calling it incomplete finally. Hester caught it on a hop. And they get a short field because of the good return by Devin Hester, and do nothing with that opportunity.
And they had a chance too, and we see that the knee obviously is bothering Jay Cutler, but one of the things that he has, a bad habit of his, is throwing off of his back foot. The protection actually was pretty good. They double up on Matthews, and he's falling backwards, and if he sets his foot, his back foot, makes a good throw to Hester, they got a chance to pick up that first down.
Chicago's now 0 for 6 on 3rd down, and that's their 3rd 3 and out. A drive that started at their own 40. Tramon Williams will stay away, and it is picked up on a hop by Corey Graham. Crowd wanted to see him let it bounce another time. Here is that 3rd down attempt. It has been a frustrating game so far for number 6, 14-0 Green Bay.
Joe, over on the Bears sideline, the trainer went over and asked Jay Cutler about his knee injury. Jay got up on the bicycle, indicating if you can't go, you got to let us know. Now, Lovie Smith told me right before the start of the second half he wasn't sure at that point if he was going to have to go with Todd Collins or Cutler because of the injury. Collins is warming up, and the body language for Jay Cutler not good. Troy, Joe?
Thanks, Chris. 2nd and 1 for Green Bay. So Cutler is on the sideline. Chris Myers reporting that it's a knee. And Jay Cutler will watch with the rest of us as we go back to that interception, and it was Aaron Rodgers who may have saved a touchdown return for Brian Urlacher. Well, let's go down to the field, and Chris Myers. Chris.
Joe, the first smile from Jay Cutler came on that Urlacher interception, first smile of the day, but officially it is a knee injury and questionable for Jay Cutler the rest of the way.
For a Bears offense that so far has had 7 possessions, they've punted it 6 times and turned it over once.
Well, there's nothing there by watching Jay Cutler to suggest that he's going to be coming back into this game. They say questionable, I understand that, but the fact that he's not trying to keep it warm or do some movement on the sideline, I think his afternoon's over.
Caleb Haney takes the field to Chris Myers.
And Joe, that was the discussion on the Bears bench. One of the reasons Haney is in the game, although limited with experience, his mobility, something that Todd Collins lacks, they think can help this offense. As for Jay Cutler, he told the medical staff that he did not know when he hurt that knee. It was obviously somewhere in the first half that has kept him out of this game. Let's go back upstairs.
All right.
Sometimes for a young quarterback, you get into this type of situation and it happens so fast and you're getting plays run, and you don't have time to do a lot of thinking, and sometimes then you just start reacting and you tend to play maybe a little bit better and get a little freer with some of your throws.
Haney throws to the sideline for Bennett, and now he stays in, and a quick score from Chicago.
There has to be one person on the planet who sees that MRI in the hospital who does not work for the Chicago Bears, and that person will get found. That information would come out. What I'm saying is they can't come out and say it's a torn MCL if it's not.
Every team has a hospital or a place they send their players to, whether if you're going for X-rays, MRIs, whatever. So you'll go there, and there'll be someone that has to administer that. Now, if you've ever tried to have the person giving you X-rays, and they take the X-rays, and then you ask them, they will say, I'm not trained to do that. I just take the X-rays. The doctor will look at it.
Right.
But a lot of people have seen enough X-rays and enough MRIs to know when something pops up there. So to go to get an MRI, I've had tons of them, as every player has. You go to the hospital, and basically you'll have someone there administer that MRI to you, and then the results will go to the team doctor. So you are right. Technically, you're right. Somebody else administers the X-ray will administer the MRI. So somebody else will know. Because we're getting all this, well, maybe this is just Lovey trying to protect him, because he wasn't playing well and they really pulled him. Let's just put it this way. There's going to have to be a definitive answer somewhere, somehow. You can't, with a star quarterback, you can't go into this muddled. There's going to have to be some definitive answer some way, somewhere about this thing. And let me just throw in one more thing that Tom talked about. That was brought up when Jay Cutler said, well, medical staff said, no go. Let me just say this. And head coaches won't admit to this, but outside of head injuries, especially now, okay, when I played, it was a joke. If they held up 2 fingers, you said 3, they'd say close enough, you weren't back in. Now it's different. Now they'll take your helmet. Now they will not put you back in the game. Anything other than that, if the medical staff says you shouldn't go out there and play, a star player can walk up to that head coach and say, I want to play. Put me back in. I think I can help this team. And coaches rarely will come out publicly and admit it. They will acquiesce to the player and put him back on the field.
Well, further, anyone who watched Todd Collins on his first series, much less the entirety of his day, knows that Lovie Smith had to know he has got a better chance with Cutler at 10% than he had with that guy. So I agree with you. If Cutler were lobbying to get back in the game, unless the doctor told Lovie Smith if he steps back out there, he's putting his career in jeopardy, I have to believe he would have put him back on the field. At any rate, this is startling. I cannot recall a situation where a player, a high-profile player in a situation like this was being questioned in the way he's being questioned.
You're right.
It's got to be awful. I feel sorry for Jay Cutler. I really do.
For him today, and to see all this out there, if he reads the stuff, and for the most part, players do.
How can you avoid it?
He's going to be sick.
I feel bad for him. I really do. We're Mike and Mike. We're presented